This mother dog was barking frantically on the side of a freezing highway. Her baby was trapped below in the deep snow, and she was terrified he wouldn't make it. Hundreds of cars drove right past them, ignoring her cries for help. But she didn't know that the man in the white truck was actually a guardian angel. He saw them and immediately stopped. He grabbed a rope ladder from his truck, determined to save the puppy no matter what. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days? Ignore. 100 years. Leave a like. 600 years. Come on, a heart emoji. Forever. Subscribe and share. Do everything. With the man's help, the brave little puppy climbed up the wall and back to safety. The mother couldn't stop wagging her tail in gratitude. He didn't leave them in the cold. He put them both in his warm car, proving that real heroes stop when no one else will. This rude waiter refused to serve a homeless man and tried to kick him out just because of how he looked. He pointed at the door and told him he didn't belong there. But this kind waitress felt sorry for him. She ignored the rude waiter and secretly brought the poor man water and a meal, treating him with the respect he deserved. When the rude waiter came back, he was furious. But he had no idea that the homeless man was actually the owner of the restaurant in disguise. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days. Ignore. 100 years. Leave a like. 600 years. Come in a heart emoji. Forever. Subscribe and share. Do everything. The man stood up and took off his disguise, revealing his true identity. The rude waiter was in shock as the owner fired him on the spot for his cruelty. He promoted the kind waitress to manager, proving that you should never judge a book by its cover. This pregnant homeless woman was starving, watching this businessman eat a delicious meal. She hoped he would offer her something, but he just ignored her and walked away. She was so hungry that she sat down to eat his scraps just to feed her baby. But suddenly, the waiter rushed over and snatched the plate away. She broke down in tears, thinking she was being kicked out for being poor. But she had no idea the waiter was actually a guardian angel. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days. Ignore. 100 years. Leave a like. 600 years. Come in a heart emoji. Forever. Subscribe and share. Do everything. He didn't take the food to be mean. He returned with a fresh, gourmet meal and juice, serving her with the respect she deserved. He proved that even when the world seems cold, there are still good people willing to help. This poor elderly woman was so hungry that she was eating leftovers from a stranger's dirty plate. She looked around hoping no one would notice her. Suddenly, the waitress rushed over and snatched the plate away. The woman was heartbroken, thinking she was being kicked out for being poor. She buried her face in her hands, feeling humiliated. But she had no idea that the waitress was actually a guardian angel in disguise. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days. Ignore. 100 years. Leave a like. 600 years. Come in a heart emoji. Forever. Subscribe and share. Do everything. The waitress didn't want her eating trash. She returned with a fresh, hot meal prepared just for her. The woman broke down in tears as she received the warm hug she desperately needed, proving that kindness can change a life. This pregnant homeless woman was so hungry that she sat down to eat the leftovers off a stranger's dirty plate. She just wanted to feed her baby. But suddenly, the waiter rushed over and snatched the food right out of her hands. She looked terrified, thinking she was being kicked out for being poor. She started crying, feeling completely humiliated. But she had no idea that the waiter was actually a guardian angel in disguise. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days. Ignore. 100 years. Leave a like. 600 years. Come in a heart emoji. Forever. Subscribe and share. Do everything. He didn't take the food to be mean. He returned with a massive, fresh burger and fries, serving her with the respect she finally deserved. This poor homeless woman was kicked out of the restaurant just for looking inside. She was starving, but the staff shut the door in her face. But this wealthy businessman inside saw everything. He immediately grabbed 2 burgers and ran out the door after her, leaving the fancy restaurant behind. He found her looking for food in a dirty dumpster. But what he did next will restore your faith in humanity. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days. Ignore. 100 years. Leave a like. 600 years. Come in a heart emoji. Forever. Subscribe and share. Do everything. He didn't just give her the food and leave. He sat down right there in the dirty alleyway to eat lunch with her. He treated her like an equal, proving that true class isn't about money, it's about how you treat people. This heartless boy refused to let an exhausted elderly man rest his head on his shoulder. He rudely pushed the poor grandpa away and left him all alone. The old man looked so sad and embarrassed. But this girl saw the disrespect and immediately stepped in. She knew she had to make things right. She sat down right next to him, hoping he would trust her. And what happened next is the sweetest thing you will see today. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days. Ignore. 100 years. Leave a like. 600 years. Come in a heart emoji. Forever. Subscribe and share. Do everything. When the tired grandpa leaned on her shoulder, she didn't push him away. She gently comforted him, treating him with the love respect he deserved. She proved that a little bit of patience and kindness can heal a broken heart. This sweet grandpa spent his entire day holding the door for strangers, but almost everyone walked past him like he was invisible. But this little girl saw how tired he looked. She gave him her own banana just to make him smile. He was so touched by her innocence. He thought that was the end of it. But when the mother came back out, she decided to do something that would change his entire week. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days. Ignore. 100 years. Leave a like. 600 years. Come in a heart emoji. Forever. Subscribe and share. Do everything. The mother handed him a heavy bag of fresh groceries and bread. The old man broke down in tears, realizing he wouldn't go hungry tonight. It was a powerful reminder that the smallest act of kindness can mean the world to someone in need. This pregnant homeless woman was so starving that she was digging through the trash just to find scraps for her unborn baby. She finally found a box of old fruit, but suddenly, a waiter rushed out and snatched it right out of her hands. She broke down in tears, terrified that she would starve. She thought he was being cruel, but she had no idea he was actually a guardian angel. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days, ignore. 100 years, leave a like. 600 years, come in a heart emoji. Forever, subscribe and share, do everything. He threw the rotten food away and returned with a hot, gourmet meal cooked specially for her. He realized she deserved better than trash, proving that kindness is the greatest gift of all. This cruel man was chasing a scared stray dog away just because he was hungry. He treated the poor animal like he was nothing, but this kind woman saw him struggling and immediately stepped in. She gave the dog her own food and made sure he felt safe and loved. Moments later, a thief snatched her purse and ran off. She screamed for help, thinking her belongings were gone forever. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days, ignore. 100 years, leave a like. 600 years, come in a heart emoji. Forever, subscribe and share, do everything. But the dog didn't forget her kindness. He chased the thief down, grabbed the bag and brought it right back to her. She hugged him tightly, realizing that because she saved him, he was there to save her. This heartless man yelled at his wife to leave a stray kitten to die in the freezing rain. He called it Gross and refused to let it in his car, but his wife refused to listen. She stood in the pouring rain holding the shivering baby and told him she would rather walk home than leave a helpless life behind. Her words finally broke through to him. He looked at the scared kitten and realized just how cruel he was being. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days, ignore. 100 years, leave a like. 600 years, come in a heart emoji. Forever, subscribe and share, do everything. He broke down in tears and apologized for his cold heart. They drove off together, keeping the kitten warm and safe. He learned that compassion is the most important thing a person can have. This man was furious. He stopped his car and started yelling at a little boy for playing ball in the middle of the road. He thought the kid was just being reckless. But the boy wasn't playing. He was frantically trying to get the man's attention because 3 tiny puppies were hiding under his car, terrified and alone. The man looked under the bumper and his heart sank. If he had driven just 1 inch further, it would have been a tragedy. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days, ignore. 100 years, leave a like. 600 years, come in a heart emoji. Forever, subscribe and share, do everything. He immediately apologized to the boy and helped him rescue the puppies. They spent the rest of the afternoon playing with them safely on the grass. He learned that sometimes what looks like trouble is actually a cry for help. This mother cat was desperate. She used her own body to shield her babies from the freezing rain, but the cars kept splashing them with dirty water. Everyone drove past, leaving them to suffer in the cold. But the mother cat didn't know that the woman in the yellow car was actually a guardian angel. She stopped her car in the middle of the road and rushed out. She didn't care about the mud or her expensive leather seats. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days, ignore. 100 years, leave a like. 600 years, come in a heart emoji. Forever, subscribe and share, do everything. She scooped up the shivering family and brought them into the warmth. She took them home, dried them off, and gave them the love they never had. Safe by the fire, the mother cat finally relaxed, knowing her babies would never be cold again. This mother dog was terrified, stranded on the side of a busy highway in the freezing rain. She guarded her babies in a cardboard box, praying the speeding cars wouldn't hit them. Hundreds of people drove right past, ignoring her desperate situation. She was losing hope, thinking they were left there to die in the cold. But she didn't know that the man in the green truck was actually a guardian angel. He slammed on his brakes, refusing to leave a family behind. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days, ignore. 100 years, leave a like. 600 years, come in a heart emoji. Forever, subscribe and share, do everything. He gently picked up the box of puppies and the mother doppily followed him into the warmth of his truck. He drove them far away from the danger. He brought them to his cozy cabin, giving them a warm fire and milk. It proves that compassion is the greatest gift you can give.